Question 12b. They tell us that the triangle ADE is an enlargement of triangle ABC. So as per before, we draw the triangle of ADE first. Okay, draw it out in the same shape, in the same orientation. So ADE. That is an enlargement of ABC. So A, B, and C. What are the lengths that we already have? For ADE, this over here is 10.5 cm. And AE, the distance is 7 cm. What are the other information that we have for triangle ABC? Yeah, we have AC, which is 4 cm. And previously, we also found out some other stuff. Okay, so this is my original. And ADE is my enlargement. Okay, so scale factor. Equals to? Sorry? Yeah, final over original. Okay, so let's write that down first. Final over original. And we are talking about lengths here. Okay, so what's my final length? Which length can we compare? 7 and 4. Okay, AE over AC, which gives us 7 over 4. That's it. That's the answer. Okay, that's my scale factor. Okay, let's move on to question 13a. We are asked to simplify. Okay, 16 over x squared minus 12x plus 36 plus 11 over x minus 6. Okay, you have a fraction add to another fraction. What should we ensure first? Yeah, I've said it so many times, right? The denominators must be the same. So in this case, what is the lowest common multiple that we can find for the denominator? Should we just multiply both denominators together? We shouldn't. Okay, please focus on the screen. We shouldn't just multiply both of them together because you will end up having a cubic equation. Your x squared times your x, you will get x cubed, which is very difficult for you to continue and simplify. So what we should do next is to try and factorize our first denominator. Okay, x squared minus 12x plus 36. I believe we can factorize that. So some rough working over here, x squared minus 12x plus 36 is equals to what? So draw your grid. X, okay? And we're going to get x squared, 36, negative 12x. Okay, so what values do you think I should put over here? I probably can put 6 and 6. And what do I get? 6x over here. X times 6, I get another 6x. However, I need a negative 12x. So I'll just include the negative by adding negative signs over here. So let's do a quick check. X times x, you get x squared. Negative 6 times negative 6, you get 36. Negative 6x minus 6x, 12x. Negative 12x. So we know that this is equals to x minus 6 times x minus 6. Okay? What use is that? Hey, do you notice that the second fraction has a denominator of x minus 6? So we can write this down as 16 over x minus 6 times x minus 6 plus 11 over x minus 6. Now is the time for us to change the denominator for the second fraction. And what do we do? Yes, we multiply it again by x minus 6. We do the same for the numerator. Otherwise, it wouldn't be equal. So now that the denominators are the same, I can combine one big fraction, x minus 6, x minus 6. And my numerator will be 16 plus 11 times x minus 6, which you can simplify by yourself. We will finally arrive at 16 minus 66, which is negative 50, plus 11x over x minus 6 squared. Your denominator, you can leave it as x minus 6 squared, you can leave it as x minus 6 times x minus 6, or you can leave it as x squared minus 12x plus 36. They are all okay. Okay, so this is my final answer. And this is just your rough working. Okay, can I move on? Next, we have 12b. Sorry, 13b. Okay, we need to simplify x squared times y z to the power of 3, and we square it. We are squaring everything that is in a bracket. And what is my denominator? X power 5, y power 3, and z power 2. Okay, using our laws of indices, we can expand this region because there's a square here. So I'll just copy everything else down. Okay, x squared times y squared. Okay, the square goes into y, and the square goes into z cubed. So 3 times 2 gives me 6. So z power 6 over x power 5, y power 3, z power 2. Then we can just cancel, right? Because when we say cancel, we are actually saying we divide the numerator and the denominator by the same thing. Now what is common in my numerator and denominator? We have x squared. So if I divide my numerator by x squared, I am left with y squared z power 6. I divide my denominator by x squared, I am left with how many x? 3 of them. X times x times x. So I get y squared z power 6 over x power 3, y power 3, and z squared. What did I do over here? I divide numerator and denominator by x squared. Okay? So x power 5 divided by x squared, you get x power 3. Of course, you can do something similar for y squared and z to the power of 6. So I'm going to do them both at the same time. Yes? It is equals to x to the power of negative 3, but x to the power of negative 3 is also equals to 1 over x cubed, right? And that's where I place my x cubed, in the denominator. Okay? So I'm going to do y and z at the same time. So over here, I divide numerator by y squared. I divide denominator by y squared. Then I'll be left with just a single y. So 3 minus 2 is 1. So left it over here. Now, I'm going to divide denominator by z squared and numerator by z squared. So this goes off. And z power 6 becomes z power 4. So what am I left with? Z power 4 over x cubed y. Okay? So this is the final answer. And I left it all in positive indices. All the powers are positive. If you can't read my handwriting, please let me know. Yes. Actually, before that, you can already start cancelling. See this x squared and x power 5? Yeah, the first step you could have simplified it a little bit here already. Now, however, for this bracket yz cube, they all come within the bracket which has a square attached to it. So you need to expand this region, this portion first, before you can cancel your y and z. Okay? So moving on, part C. A, 6 to the power of A is 4, 6 to the power of B is 5. Find the value of 6 to the power of 3A minus 2B. Okay. What does our laws of indices say about something to the power of something minus something? What operation comes to mind? Plus, minus, times, or divide? When you have powers that has a minus. We are dividing, yes. So what do we have? It is actually equals to 6 to the power of 3A divided by 6 to the power of 2B. Okay, usually we do it the other way around. 6 to the power of 3A divided by 6 to the power of 2B. Then you will tell me that the final answer is 6 to the power of 3A minus 2B. This time we are working in reverse. Because at the back of our mind, we remember that the question told us that 6 to the power of A, how much is it equals to? 4. And they also told us that 6 to the power of B is equals to 5. Okay, this is at the back of our mind, huh? Alright, 6 to the power of 3A. Can we find out what that is? We need to make some tiny changes first. 6 to the power of 3A, we can rewrite it as 6 to the power of A to the power of 3, right? Because A times 3 is 3A. What we have in the numerator. And in our denominator, we do the same. 6 to the power of B to the power of 2. You're following? Okay, so given in the question, what was 6 to the power of A? That's 4, right? So this is equals to 4 to the power of 3. 4 to the power of 3 divided by B, 6 to the power of B, right? 6 to the power of B is 5 divided by 5 squared. And this gives me 64 over 25. Six 1 over A. Why 6 to the power of 1 over A? We are I don't understand. Show me your working. Okay, so try asking your question again. 6 power 1 over A. Like that. Come here. So you're telling me that this is the same as 6 power 3A, is it?
Yeah.
We write down equals 6 power 3A. Okay. So you see the mistake already?
Oh yeah.
Over here, 6 power 1 over A power 3 is actually equals to 6 to the power 3 over A, because we are multiplying this together. So this is 3 over A, which is different from 3A. Okay, so this is correct, but it isn't the same as the question. Understand? Thank you. So anyway, since we talked about this, do you know what is 6 to the power of 1 over A? This is actually equals to the A root of 6. Okay? tell you that A is equals to 2, then we are just saying square root of 6. If I say A is equals to 3, we are just talking about the cube root of A. Okay? Totally different. Okay, so next, question 14. Formula is given by Z over X is equals to X plus Y square over Y square. And they want you to make Y as the subject. So fraction equals to fraction. What do I always say? Cross multiply, yes, please. I realize that there is always somebody, almost always somebody, who knows what needs to be done, but that somebody might not be the same person. So if only the whole class can collectively do the same paper together, I'm sure you all will score full marks. However, we can't do the same paper together during the exams. So whatever your friends are answering that is correct, please note that I need you to know how to answer those questions as well. Okay? So cross multiply them. Draw a little cross with your pencil. And what do we get? Z times Y square is equals to X times X plus Y square. This is always the first step when you encounter this kind of question, and then we need to expand the right hand side. Okay, so Z Y square equals to X square plus X Y square. And since we need to make Y the subject, I am going to group all my Y terms together. So Z Y square minus X Y square equals to X square. And I factorize out Y square. That is the common factor. So Y square Z minus X equals to X square. Okay, what should I do next? 7. No, that is Z. Okay, divide both sides by Z minus X. So Y square is now equals to X square over Z minus X. Almost reaching already. They wanted Y to be the subject. What do I have now as the subject? I have Y square. So what should I do? Square root. When students square root, what do they always forget to do? Plus minus. Just now this morning when I had my consultation session, right? Somebody kept forgetting to put on a plus minus. Right, Axel? So can you remember already or not? Can So Y equals to plus minus square root X square over Z minus X. What did you say, Ali? Exactly. Yes, that is also the same thing. You can also leave your answer as, because your intermediate steps may be slightly different, you may arrive at this answer, which is negative X square over X minus Z. They are the same thing. Because if you multiply your numerator by negative 1, you get negative X square. At the same time, you have to multiply your denominator by negative 1, you will get X minus Z. So they are the same thing. Okay? Okay, now that we have Y as the formula, Y as the subject, they are asking us to find the value of X given that Z is equals to 2 and Y equals to negative 2. Okay, so part B. Can I go on to the next page already? This one over here? Okay, this is all. You can leave your answer as the first one or the second one. Both are the same. Okay, moving on to part B. Okay, let me just copy down the formula again. Z over X is equals to X plus Y square over Y square. We can start by doing the substitution already. If you're uncomfortable with working with all these letters, you prefer to work with numbers, no problem. They tell you that z is equals to 2, y equals to -2, and x equals to a question mark. So let's place everything else in. So 2 over x equals to x plus y squared. Y is equals to -2. -2, we square the whole thing. And we must be very careful with this. Because -2 times -2 is 4, not -4. Okay, so this is that. So 2 over x equals to x plus 4 over 4. And we end up with a fraction equals to a fraction again. What should we do? Yeah, we do the cross multiply. Take a pencil, draw a cross. Okay, those are arrowheads telling you that denominator times numerator on the other side. Numerator times the denominator on one side. Okay, so 2 times 4 equals to x times x plus 4. And we simplify to get 8 equals to x squared plus 4x. This is a quadratic equation because there is an x squared. So to solve quadratic equations, there are 3 ways to do it. Factorization, completing a square, quadratic formula. Before we do that, do all those. We need to make sure that our form ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. Okay, because I like to use my quadratic formula. So let me just continue over here. X squared plus 4x minus 8 equals to 0. And I know my a is the coefficient of x squared, which is 1. B is the coefficient of x, which is positive 4. And c is the constant of -8. So straight away I can write down x equals to minus b plus minus square root b square minus 4ac. Over 2a. Show me this, you get 1 mark. This is if you want to solve it by quadratic formula. Okay, so this is -4 plus minus square root of 16 square plus 32. Sorry, 16 plus 32 is 48, right? Okay. So now I'm going to have 2 answers. What is this negative? What is this square root 48? Square root 48 is 6.9282 to 5 SF. Okay, so this is -4 plus minus 6.9282 over 2. And there will be 2 answers because of this plus and minus. Okay? So answer that will be -4 plus 6.9282 over 2, or -4 minus 6.9282 over 2. Continue by yourself and round them off to 3 SF. That is what the question wants. And you will have the answer. So I'm not going to continue for you. You can do it yourself. Alright? So I'll just put a dot, dot, dot for you to continue. Final question, number 15. A. A cyclist cycled from X to Y at an average speed of X kilometers per hour. Write an expression for number of hours taken to travel from X to Y. Now this is a speed, time, distance question. So it is always useful for us to remember that what is the relationship? Distance, speed, and time. I'm sure all of you know how to use this pyramid. Yes? Okay. If you want the time taken, then we need distance divided by speed. So time from x to y. Okay? Distance is 60 over x, which is the speed. So this is in hours. Okay? Part A done. Part B. She returned from x to y by the same route. Does the distance change? She returned y to x. Distance doesn't change. It is still 60 kilometers. But average speed is now 5 kilometers per hour more. And they want you to find the time taken again. Okay. So same formula. Time from y to x is equals to distance, which did not change, which is still 60, divided by the speed. Now the speed is 5 kilometers per hour more. So it's going to be x plus 5 hours. Okay, so that's it. Now let's try to make sense of the question. The speed is now increased by 5 kilometers per hour. Do you think she took a shorter time or a longer time? Shorter time, right? The speed is faster, so going home, she took a shorter time. Okay, this is smaller than 60 over x. Okay, let's just keep that in mind. And we go on to part C. She took 30 minutes less on the return journey. Yeah, that makes sense. It is in line with what we just said on the return journey. Then the outward journey, form an equation in x. So we know that 60 over x plus 5 is smaller than 60 over x. But how much smaller is it? By 30 minutes. So something minus something equals to 30 minutes. Of course, we take the bigger one minus the smaller one, we will get 30 minutes, right? So which is the bigger one? 60 over x. So 60 over x, this is the time taken from x to y, minus the shorter time, which is 60 over x plus 5. These are in hours, right? And what is this equals to? 30 minutes. Can I write 30? Can I write 30? Yes, can I write 30? The larger time minus the smaller time equals to 30, yes or no? Cannot write, why? Sorry? No, that's not the reason. The reason is because we need all of them to have the same units of hours. So 30 minutes, we convert it to hours, will be 30 over 60 hours, which is half an hour. So this is forming the equation. Simplify, this is half. Forming the equation already, then we need to convert it into the form of ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. And to do that, like what Gail said, we have to make sure they have the same denominator, because before we can subtract one fraction from the other. Okay, so to make sure that they have the same denominator, we are going to have 60 times x 60 times x plus 5 over x times x plus 5 minus 60 times x over x times x plus 5, and this is equals to half. And we combine the two fractions on the left hand side. So one big fraction, x times x plus 5, numerator, I'm going to just expand straight away. 60x plus 300 minus 60x again, and this is equals to half. So fraction equals to fraction. What do we need to do? Cross multiply. We'll draw the arrow in pencil. And we realize that 60x minus 60x, that gives us nothing, right? So let's just cancel this away. 60x minus 60x. I'm left with 300 over x squared plus 5x equals to half. So 300 times 2 is supposed to be equals to x times x plus 5 times 1. So 1 multiplied by x times x plus 5 gives us 300 times 2. Expand it out. X squared plus 5x equals to 600. Compare that with what they wanted you to prove, x squared plus 5x minus 600 equals to 0. All we need to do is to just subtract 600 on both sides. So that is x squared plus 5x minus 600 equals to 0 and shown. That is for part C. Okay, part D. Now they ask you to solve this equation, x squared plus 5x minus 600 equals to 0. They ask you to solve it. So we can use a quadratic formula where A is 1, B is 5, C is negative 600. X equals to minus B plus minus square root B square minus 4AC over 2A. We will get two answers. Let's see what we will get. X will be equals to negative 5 plus minus square root of 25 plus 2400. 2400 plus 25 is just 2425. Okay? So 2425 over 2. Okay, so this is minus 5 plus square root 2425 over 2, or negative 5 minus square root 2425 over 2. Show me the answers. Square root 2425 minus 5 divided by 2, I get 22.122, or square root 2425 negative 27.122. Okay, so I need to round them off, right? To 3SF, 22.1 or negative 27.1. Okay, so these are my two values of x. What should I do next? Reject. Why? Because they say that x is the average speed, right? So can your average speed be negative 27.1? Cannot be, right? But I need you to take a closer look at the question, part D. What does the question say in part D? Did they ask you to find the speed x, or did they just ask you to solve? They just say solve, right? So you are not supposed to reject anything. So you must read the question carefully. If they ask you to just solve, you need both answers. If they say, find the speed that she took to travel from x to y, that is when you need to reject the negative value. Okay? Any questions? Yeah, the answer is just like that. Two answers to 3SF. In fact, I don't even need to write the units because I'm just solving a quadratic equation. No units in a quadratic equation. Okay? Next is our last piece of homework that I gave you. In the last 25 minutes, I'm going to cover selected questions. Those that I think are maybe need a bit more guidance. Like for example, question 1A is just factorizing. I'm not going to waste time go through that. We will look at 1B first. A little bit tricky. Okay, so this is our homework 1B. In 1B, we are told to factorize 4x squared minus 16. What is the first thing we can factorize out? Is that number that we can factorize out? Darren? Darren? Is that a number that I can factorize out? What? 4. Did you say 4? Okay, take out 4. Why are you laughing? Okay, take out the 4, and we are left with x squared minus 4. Okay, x squared minus 4. XO, what should we think of when we see x squared minus 4? X minus 2x plus 2. Why did he say that? Because we know that this is equal to 4 times x squared minus 2 squared. Right? A squared minus b squared, we will get 4 times x plus 2 x minus 2. This is the answer. Okay? Now, I am going to show you what some students may have done. This is what some of you may have done. 4x squared minus 16. And you realize that, hey, 4x squared is actually 2x squared. And 16 is 4 squared. Then, hey, I can use my a squared minus b squared directly, isn't it? Okay, so what do I get? This is equals to 2x minus 4 times 2x plus 4. Am I done? Not yet, because I can still factorize. Look at the first bracket. You can factorize a 2 out, right? So here we have 2 times x minus 2. Then you look at the second bracket. Again, you can factorize 2 out. 2 times x plus 2. Okay? So this will become 4 times x minus 2 x plus 2. It is the same as our answer previously. Same thing. So I think, Ali, that's what you wanted to ask. Yes, okay. So 2 ways of doing it. I feel that the first way is easier because we just start factorizing out common numbers first. Okay, make it simpler. Going to go into 2C. Okay, because 2A and 2B are rather straightforward, you just need to cancel. Okay, cancel away by, what do I mean by cancel? We divide the numerator and the denominator by the same thing. So in part C, y to the power of negative 2 over 3 times the 4th root of y. Okay, for this question, we want to leave our powers in terms of numbers and of fractions. It is very difficult to work with all these root symbols. Okay, so we are going to rewrite this to become y to the power of negative 2 over 3 times y to the power of 1 over 4. Because y power 1 over 4 is the same as the 4th root of y. So now you have y power something times y power something. Our very first law of indices that we learned. We should add the powers up. So negative 2 over 3 plus 1 over 4. And what is this equals to? y power negative 5 over 12. But they want the answer in positive index. So this is the same as 1 over y to the power 5 over 12. Negative sign, right? So we need to do the flip. And where is the flip? We have y over 1. So if we flip it, it becomes 1 over y. Okay? So, next one. R power negative 2 is 13. We want to find out what is R square. They look almost similar. But we need to convert our given equation into the form of R square equals to something. And what do we notice about the power? It's negative 2. We want to change it to positive 2. How do we express R to the power negative 2 as positive indices? This is 1 over R square equals to 13, right? 1 over R square is equals to R power negative 2. And we want to make R square the subject. So this is actually 13 over 1, right? And then we can do a cross multiply. And I will get 13 R square equals to 1. So R square equals to 1 over 13. This is I think this the first time I'm seeing this type of question, and I'm very happy to know that some of you actually managed to figure out this by yourself. Okay? So very good. Okay, completing the square for 3b. I am not going to show you the steps because you should already know. What I'm going to do instead is to show you the final answer for 3b part 1. So x squared minus 2x minus 5 is equals to x minus 1 squared minus 6. Okay, this is the answer for b part 1. And then for b part 2, they ask you, hence solve x squared minus 2x minus 5 equals to 0. Hence solve. So you cannot use your quadratic formula. You cannot use factorization. You need to use what you had in part 1. And we realize that this is the same as your question. Therefore, this must be the same as this. In other words, using our answer from part 1, x minus 1 square minus 6 is equals to 0. Okay, x minus 1 square minus 6 equals to 0. Please do not start to expand this. Because if you expand, you will get back your original question. You're supposed to use this to solve. It is already a simpler way, a simpler approach to solve it. Why? Because right now, x minus 1 square is equals to 6. And you want to get rid of the square, right? What should we do? And what do we always forget? Okay, please have all these questions in your mind when you do it, okay? So x minus 1 equals to plus minus square root of 6. So x must be equals to 1 plus minus square root of 6. So get your answer in 5SF. Then you round it off to, okay, there will be two values, this one something or something. So round it off to something or something. Okay, at this step, you should be able to do it yourself already. Your answer should be in 3SF. Next up, 4A. 1 cm to 5 meters. And you are supposed to express the scale in the form of 1:n. So this is what we want, 1:n. When we say 1:n, we are telling you that there are no units because the units are the same. However, in a given question, the units are not the same yet. We have 1 cm is to 5 meters. We can change them to have the same units, right? So 1 cm is representing 500 centimeters. Now that the units are the same, we can say that, okay, the scale is 1:500. So what is the value of n? It is 500. So we have expressed it in this form, 1:n, where n is equals to 500. Okay? Now part B. We have a rectangle measuring 5.5 centimeters and 2 centimeters on the map. Find the actual area of the garden. Do we have a scale for the area? Do we have the ratio of our area yet? Don't have. We only have the ratio for the length. So I need to create my ratio of area. We are going to do that from the ratio of the length, alright? So initially we have 1 cm representing 5 meters, right? So if I square my left hand side, I will have to square my right hand side. So 1 square centimeters, squaring my left hand side, represents 5 square and square meters. Okay, so this is the ratio of the area now. Over here we have ratio of length. And over here I have ratio of area. In other words, 1 square centimeter on the map represents 25 square meters in reality. Okay. So, what is the area of the garden on the map? On map, area equals to 5.5 times 2, which is 11 square centimeters. So in reality, actual area must be equals to, 1 square centimeter represents 25 square meters, right? So 11 square centimeters must represent 11 times 25, and that gives us 275 square meters. That is in reality. What is your other method? Okay, so he found the length of the actual garden, is it? He found the length of the actual garden, and he found the actual breadth of the garden, and then he multiplied them together. He will get the same answer, am I right? Yes, you can do that too. Find the actual length, find the actual breadth, multiply them together. Okay, next. Question 6. The product of two positive numbers is 192. Okay? And the difference between the two numbers is 4. So, let one number be x. So, x times something is equals to 192, isn't it? So, the other number is, so x times something equals to 192, the other number must be 192 over x. Right? So that when we multiply them together, you get 192. Make sense? Okay, let's try another way, okay? Let one number be x. What did they say? The difference between the two numbers is 4. So what must the other number be? Okay, the other number is x plus 4. So that the difference between these two numbers must be 4. Okay, so this is one number, this is the other number. And then we go back to the first line. The product of these two numbers is 192. Form the equation x times x plus 4 equals to 192. Okay? So we have a quadratic equation, x squared plus 4x minus 192 equals to 0. You can do it yourself using factorization, completing the square, or quadratic formula. You will arrive at two values for x. What are the two values for x that you got? Okay, so you continue, you get x equals to 12 or negative 16. Can we accept both values? We can't, because the question says the two numbers are positive. So this is rejected. So one value is 12. The other value must be 12 plus 4. So the other value equals to 12 plus 4, which is 16. So do a quick check. 16 times 12. Yep, I get 192. Okay. Sorry, what is the other number? Did you show me how you get 16? You must show me. Okay, so the two numbers are 12 and 16. Yes. You mean 16 and 12? Yeah, you can. It's the same thing. Okay, I just want the two values, 12 and 16. Alright, question number 7. Probably it's the last question that I'm going to go through in the last 7 minutes. Triangle ABC is similar to triangle APQ. So first we draw out triangle ABC. Okay? So ABC looks like this. A, B, and C. It is similar to triangle APQ. APQ is smaller, so I'm going to draw it in the same orientation. And I label it correspondingly A, P, Q. Similar triangles, A, B, C, A, P, Q. Okay, you must draw them like this. Cannot draw them any way else. So fill in whatever we know. B to C is 10. B to A is 8. What else do we know? PQ is 4. And AQ is 2.6. So they are similar triangles. We know that they are corresponding lengths, they will have the same proportion, right, Yang Kun? Find the length of BP. Looking at your diagram in your paper, BP is made up of two sections. What are they? BA and plus AP. Do we have BP already? Sorry, do we have BA already? Yes, right? So this is equals to 8 plus AP. Do we have AP? No. But it is over here and I can try to find out. Where should I put my value of AP? Top left, to make things easier for us. Okay, so AP over 1. AP over AB is equals to, what is the other corresponding pairs of sides? PQ over BC. So substitute in the values already. So AP over AB, which is 8, is equals to PQ 4 over 10. Therefore, AB is equals to 4 over 10 times 8. That gives us... Huh? Oh, sorry, AP. What is 2 times 8? 16 over 5. Okay, this is the value of AP. And we can place this back into my equation where I wanted to find BP, right? So, BP is equals to 8 plus 16 over 5. That is 11 and 1 over 5 centimeter. Or you can leave it as 11.2 centimeters. Same thing. Yes. Any questions? Okay, it looks like I just have about 3 minutes to give you an idea of how to do question 8. I won't show you all the steps, I won't show you the final answer, but I'll show you the approach. Okay, question 8A. Mr. Ang pumps $100 worth of petrol weekly. In 2014, he can pump X liters per week. Find the cost of petrol per liter. So X liters cost $100. So 1 liter cost 100 over X. This is part A. In part B, he was able to pump X plus 1 liters. He can pump more this time for the same amount of money. That means it's cheaper, isn't it? It is now cheaper. Okay? So X plus 1 liters cost $100. So 1 liter cost 100 over X plus 1. Okay, this is for 2014 and this is for 2015. No, I don't need label, I'm just telling you. Make it clear for you. So now, which one is, we said that in 2015 it is cheaper, right? This is cheaper. And the price difference is 0.04 cents. So the bigger value minus the smaller value is equal to 0.04. In other words, 100 part C over X, which is the bigger value, minus the smaller value, 100 over X plus 1. This is 0.04. Okay? Fraction minus fraction, make them have the same denominator, which will be 100 times X plus 1 over X times X plus 1 minus 100 times X over X times X plus 1 equals to 0.04. Same denominator, combine. Over X times X plus 1, numerator 100X plus 100 minus 100X equals to 0.04. Fraction equals to something else. Okay, this is 0.04 over 1. Cross multiply. In pencil. At the same time, we realize that 100x minus 100x can cancel. So we are left with x times x plus 1 times 0.04. So 0.04 x times x plus 1 equals to 100. Expand it out and simplify. You will arrive at x squared plus x minus 2500 equals to 0. Let's put shown. Okay? you can do this intermediate step by yourself. 0.04 equals to 1 over 25. Yeah, correct, same thing. So finally in part E, all you need to do is to solve. X equals to minus 1 plus minus square root of 1 square minus 4ac over 2a. And you arrive at two answers. What are they? Abiyatul? 0.502. Okay, this is Rabiato's answer. I didn't work it out. So please try yourself and see whether you get the same answer, okay? Now question. Is this my final answer? Why not? 3SF. They are asking for cost. Cost will be in 2 decimal place. Okay? Cost of petrol per liter. That means they want... Okay, let's see. X will be... Wait, X is the number of liters. Okay, we have these two. Can the number of liters, can it be a negative? X is supposed to be number of liters, right? So it cannot be negative. This is rejected first. So X is going to be 49.502. And they want the cost of petrol in 2015. In part B, okay, we said that the cost of petrol per liter is in 2015 is equals to 100 over X plus 1. So substitute your 49.502 inside X. Okay, and you continue to work it out. This will be in 2dp because of money. Yeah, for part D, you don't need to reject. Yeah, reject. Oh, part D. Sorry. This is I missed out part D. For part D, solve. When they ask you to solve, don't reject. Okay? Do not reject when they just ask you to solve. It is only in part E, I labeled wrongly. In part E, we are going to reject in part E. Alright? Okay. Now, I've been doing this on the tablet so that I'm going to try to upload this online onto MC Online for you. In the social learning wall. Okay, I'm going to try to do that. If can, for you, you can go and join from there. Social learning wall. I'm going to create a group for our class. Okay, it's going to be called 3 dynamic thinking or something like that. Just go into your social learning wall, find it. Find this video. You go into your MC Online, under collaboration. There is a social learning wall. Go there and find the group. It got sense. Okay?